And hello, I am Mac10, and today is Wednesday, March 21st, 2012, and welcome to episode number 2 of the Mailroom, where I answer your feedback. So, the first question is from Crispy171. Yeah, for sure. Oh, here's another random question. Will the drops still be different for each person? Say you find a rare, and your friend is with you, will he see the same drops, or is it different for him? I remember hearing this when the beta first came out. Well, I'm pretty sure, in fact I know that, when the item drops, you'll all see the same item, but I think only one of you will be able to pick it up. I'm not sure exactly how this works because I've only played the beta in single player, or rather by myself. But no, you'll definitely all see the same items, but the magic find and gold find is shared. So if I have 100% magic find, if I have 100 magic find and you have 0, then we both have 50 while we're partied together. And I think that the items, if an item drops for me, then I'm allowed to take it. Otherwise, you're allowed to take it. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a first come first serve thing, like in the case of what is the game I'm trying to think of? Not Diablo, I can't think of it, but no, I think it's a situation where it drops, everybody sees it, and you can pick it up. Diablo 2, that's what I'm thinking of, where the item just drops, and anybody can take it. In this situation, the item drops, but I believe one person is already assigned that item from the moment it falls off the dead monster. So, play with your friends. Xanthu. That's a lot. I was thinking about a 5% fee or something similar, so this makes a lot of cost per month for D3, as long as you want to use the Romany auction house. Thank you for answering. Xanthu, 5% is, yeah, 5 or 10% would be much more logical. However, think about it. It technically is a 5% fee if you're selling an item for more than $22.50. And I think that's right. $22, yeah, $22.50, and it actually is a 5% fee. And Blizzard wants it to be that sort of fee because Blizzard wants items to be sold for a lot of money. That's sort of what they're aiming for. I think the side effect is that there'll be lots and lots of items sold at a cheap price, and Blizzard will make lots of money off that. But I think their goal is to have items sell for a lot of money. So, Bamazudi says, to be honest, I usually don't care about the special Ultimate Collector's Editions of games, but they have been keeping us waiting for Diablo 3 for a while. Looking forward to gameplays. I am really liking the Witch Doctor class so far. I am the same way, Mr. Bamazudi. I never spend the money on special or collector's editions of games. I'm more or less big on, I just buy the actual game. Like, I don't have the money to spend on a big game like that. But I've noticed I've played StarCraft 2 since the first month it came out. I played it in the beta, and I still play it today. I'm only in the Diamond League. I'm never gonna be able to. I'll never be a pro gamer, but I love the game, and I really wish that I had bought the collector's edition because it's a part of me. It's part of what I do. I love that game. So if I have the money, if it's available and I have the money, I will cut out something that I would normally have the money to spend on, and I'll get the collector's edition if I can find a copy of it when the game comes out. Just because I intend on playing the game for years to come. But if I can't get the collector's edition, then obviously you know the alternative. So the next question comes from Dark Angel 12139. He says, and obviously the leak wasn't a leak since the game is coming out on the 15th of May. This was in response to my video suggesting the leak, that the date would be April 17th. Now, there are a lot of, obviously the leak wasn't correct since the game is coming out on the 15th of May. It technically could have still been a leak for a lot of reasons. One is, technically speaking, if Blizzard fired an employee that they didn't like and had a political or other problem with, and Blizzard said, and according to Blizzard, they had told him or let it slip to him that the release date was April 17th, and then it showed up on all these websites that the release date was April 17th, then that means that they just wanted to see if he was going to snitch. Or, do you know what I'm saying? Or they gave a lot of different release dates to a lot of different employees before they laid off 600 a couple months ago. Well, one of those disgruntled employees leaks a release date. They see April 17th and they say, oh, well, this guy probably is our leak. Mr. Dastic says, I'm really disturbed by your comment. The gold auction house will most likely never be used once the game is launched. To me, this is nothing more than a pay-to-win system. Blizzard got enormously greedy and wanted to cash into the gold mine that is gold selling. However, by providing a system where you can already sell games for real money in-game, Blizzard is simply inviting gold sellers to abuse this system and completely reduce the price of all items. This is a win-win system and a lose system for us. It's a win-win because prices go down and we pay less. In addition, because there are more sales, Blizzard gets a $1.25 cut more often, meaning the content that we get is of a higher quality. That means Blizzard has more money coming out of Diablo, and therefore Blizzard has greater motivation to put money into their game to bring us more shit in Diablo, because God knows, Diablo is the sort of game where you beat it again and again and again and again. So let's say they add in another act to the game in a patch. Like, that would never happen, but if they added another act into the game with a patch, that would be mind-blowing, and we'd all play it 1,000 times. Because think about it. Think about how many times you run through the entire game of Diablo if you play Diablo 2 seriously. So the downside is, if you're trying to make money like I and other people are, then you're more or less speculating. And I'll talk about this in other videos to come, but basically you're going to be speculating the auction house, and you're not going to be making money by farming and selling it, because someone else is farming and selling it at a price that you can't compete with because they're selling it so cheap. So the next thing is Ponzini77 says, it would happen anyways through third-party websites, and we would have bots spamming in chats and games to buy their shit. I personally think this guy, me, is crazy, and I fully expect the gold auction house to be used more often than the money auction house. Plus, if you play hardcore, there's no real money auction house, which I plan to do. Now, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but I actually am posting a link in the information to this video to Jay Wilson's Twitter, where Jay Wilson says if there is demand for it, they will consider adding a real money auction house to hardcore mode. And Jay Wilson, he was not just Jay Wilson, but Blizzard as a whole was pretty adamantly against a real money auction house in hardcore mode. But they kind of have to do it, and they kind of should do it. If they think they can make money with it, Blizzard will do it, because Blizzard's losing a lot of revenue in this game, because they had originally planned for 70 cents cut of theirs if you successfully sell an auction, but only 15 cents to list an auction. So you have a 15-cent listing fee. That 15-cent listing fee, Blizzard was intending you to link the game to your PayPal account, list items constantly that didn't sell. And whenever an item didn't sell, whenever something went on the real money auction house, that means that Blizzard got 15 cents. Blizzard, I think, was banking on that 15 cents a lot more. That's why the total fee, 15 plus 70, is 85 cents. That's why it jumped to $1.25, because Blizzard knows that they're going to get that cut a lot less often. So they need to set the price higher, yet at a price that we can tolerate. So I think that is why they're doing it. But Jay Wilson and other officials, Jay Wilson on multiple times, but this was the first time he mentioned it. I have the original tweet again in the information for the video, has said that they will consider doing a real money auction house for hardcore mode if there is demand for it. Personally, I would agree with you, Mr. Ponzini77. I think there should be no real money auction house in hardcore. I'm indifferent in a lot of situations, but if I had to give a vote either way, I would say don't give hardcore a real money auction house, because it's sort of a haven for you guys in a lot of way. So, also, the gold auction house will not be used more than the real money auction house. Maybe for trash stuff, maybe for actual in-game currency, or not actual in-game currency, but lower level items and materials, a lot of that will be on the gold auction house. But anything that you actually want, anything that's actually worth half a shit, is going to be on the real money auction house, because people like money. If the fee is $1.25, that means you're going to see items go from anywhere from $5 to even $50. If somebody's selling an item for can sell an item for $30, or he can sell it for X amount of some shitty game currency, he's gonna sell it for real money. So, Moving along, Satanic Sephiroth says, my reasoning on why beginning items would be cheap and get a little more expensive as it becomes more level/rarity, because like some people, I know that there would be some who would just play it to see the story then quit, so most of them will usually exit around the end of the first difficulty setting. You add that and those farmers as well, you're talking a flood of newbie stuff even early in the game, but I believe that Magic Find and Gold Find items will usually be sought after the higher and better the equipment is, more money. So there's a few grammatical farts in that. I'm just copying pasting the actual comments and messages I got. I'm not censoring anybody in any way here. So but Mr. Sephiroth, I believe you're trying to say that the Magic Find and Gold Find stats will be much more sought after at the higher levels and doing the game on multiple difficulties, and that's definitely true. But something I also want to point out is that Blizzard said you will be able to level from level 1 to 60 by doing Normal, Nightmare, and Hell. When you finish Hell, you'll be close to level 60. You play the entire game through Normal, then you start over and play Nightmare, and then you start over and play Hell, and by the time you finish Hell, you're pretty close to level 60. You're leveling up the whole time you're doing this. And because of that, it's made to look like the only real challenge is going to be Inferno. Blizzard stated before, and I can, if you really want me to later on, I will bring you the links where they did this, but they basically stated that you'll be able to solo through the entire game if you take it one step at a time. If you start from normal Act 1 and run the whole game on normal mode, and then do it in Nightmare, and then do it in Hell, you'll be able to do it all by yourself as you go along. And by stating that, I believe that pretty much implies you'll be able to do it by yourself based on your skills and your control of the character, and that for most classes, gear will not be a significant factor in this. So I don't think that the real money auction house or I don't think that items will be cheap in the beginning. I think items will be actually overpriced in the beginning because there'll be less of them. Because people will first see something and go, oh, I'm going to spend my money on this. And then after a while, because it's been there for a long time, because there's so much of a certain item, its value over time will become less. And because of this, we will naturally sort of see prices go down of items. And I think that the sort of player you're talking about, the casual player who just wants to play it for the first difficulty setting and have fun with it and experience the story, that person, I know if you're just playing normal, not Nightmare, not Hell, just normal, you're not going to use the real money auction house. And you'll never have to. You don't need to. Why would you have... Blizzard doesn't care if you use it or not if you're only playing normal. You're already paying Blizzard $50 for the game. So they don't care about taking that cut if you're just running it through normal. So, to answer your question, I don't think that I think items will be more expensive. They'll probably be dirt cheap for the first week or two, but I think overall, for the first 2 or 3 months, items will be way more expensive than they will be for the next 3 months and the 3 months after that. And I think that as a whole, just to answer that little side statement you made there, I think that as a whole, if you're not doing Inferno, let's just say you're doing all the difficulties but Inferno, you should be able to solo it, and you shouldn't have to use the real money auction house, and you probably won't even have to use the gold auction house. But so that's just my my couple cents on that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the Mailroom, episode number 2. Thank you for making your comments, complaints, suggestions, and feedback to me. Please feel free to leave comments, suggestions, feedback, etc. in the comments to this video. Send me a direct message on YouTube, or tweet me at MacX10, MACKXTEN, on Twitter. Send me a tweet there, and I'll answer your question on the next episode of the Mailroom. Oh, and one more thing. The video footage in the background is of Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I will catch you on Friday with a new Diablo 3 status update. Have a great day, and bye-bye.